Hello dear friends, we carry on and we describe the conflict relationships. Conflict relations are characterized by tension and a high probability of disagreement. This is due to the fact that partners have got very different values. The strong energy of program function of one person is directed towards vulnerable function of another type. For this reason, partners may not always understand the motive of each other's actions. Quarrels grow like mushrooms and arise for no apparent reason. For one, what is self-evident is completely absurd for the other. It may be challenging to find a compromise. In addition to pressure on each other's sensitive points, partners differ in a lifestyle due to the difference in rationality. For the let's have a look of the picture. So here we have got Hamlet, rational type, logical ethics in program and channel and role channel, and Gabin, sensory logical introvert, SLI we call it. It's on the opposite. Program channel is sensory, irrational, role channel, intuition is irrational. The problem of a conflict relationship, why conflicts occur? Yes, because they are different on rationality, at different attitudes to life, but also because a program function is just too much to take for the same vulnerable function. This is a sensitive point. You know that Gabin doesn't like expression of very strong emotions, especially negative. And it is very important for Hamlet to express his emotions. So, and the same true for Gabin, because Gabin has got introverted sensory as a strong functions and Hamlet as a vulnerable function. So information may be too much to digest, to understand. These relations are considered to be the most uncomfortable. It doesn't mean that the partners cannot stay together or avoid conflicts. Conflict relations among partners are not rare. Conflicting types attract each other as they can provide valuable support on weak functions. Yeah, of course, they still can help each other because Hamlet needs logic and sensory, and Hamlet is thankful for information delivered by ethics and intuition, isn't it? It is easy to make a mistake by seeing a conflicting type as a dual type and later wonder why it is so hard to build harmonious relationship and find mutual understanding. That's why we say that dichotomy rationality is really important for relationships. The next relationships we consider is a business. Business relationship between types means that the partners are on equal footing, both have the same function in the creative and vulnerable channels. Partners trust each other enough to pursue common goals. Such relations are especially good for joint activities and cooperation. Partners respect each other, strive to provide mutual support, and avoid conflict. Tensions are rare. At the same time, there is no desire to communicate intimately as they cannot adequately support each other on the vulnerable function. For business relationship, Jack London type is good for Hamlet. They have got the same creative function, but the same vulnerable function makes them maybe not that interesting to each other because they cannot really support each other's vulnerable sensory function. So Jack London is a logical, intuitive extrovert. Both types are the same on rationality, irrationality, on rationality. Both types extroverts. Both types have got the same value function and belong to the same type of energy, ego type. Next, what we consider is social request. Each type is a requester, social requester, and request recipient. Social request occurs when one type takes on the role of the requester and another is a request recipient. Unlike a business relationship, this relationship is neither equal nor symmetrical. It means that one of the partners is in a leading position in relation to another. For Hamlet, requester would be Don Quixote, we call it, intuitive, logical extrovert. Why he is a requester and why Hamlet looks up to him? Because Don Quixote has got as creative function introverted logic, and introverted logic is something which belongs to Hamlet's dual Gorky. Gorky has got this function as his program function. That's why Hamlet finds attractive Don Quixote, because of the strong creative introverted logic. But for Don Quixote, Hamlet doesn't look that interesting on his strong functions. So Don Quixote is requester for Hamlet, and Hamlet is request recipient for Don Quixote. And for whom is Hamlet is requester? Hamlet is requester for Napoleon, sensory ethical extrovert, because creative function of Hamlet, introverted intuition, is the same like in Napoleon's dual Balzac. So that's why Napoleon is valuing and find Hamlet interesting, because of creative function. So thus we have got request relationship. Next relationship is control or supervision. Control relations in socionics are also known under the name of supervision relationship, where one type controls the actions of the other. To the supervisor, it seems that they understand the supervisor well enough, as their creative function is the same as the program function of the supervisee. Okay, the supervisor for Hamlet is Dumas, sensory ethical introvert. And they have got as strong functions extroverted ethics. For Dumas, it is creative function, for Hamlet, program function. And Dumas thinks that he understands very well Hamlet. But what he doesn't understand, why sometimes whatever he says, Hamlet is not happy about. Why Hamlet distanced himself from Dumas. It is because this information from program function falls onto the vulnerable of Hamlet, supervisor and supervisee. At the same time, Hamlet is a supervisor for the type Balzac. Balzac has got program function intuition of time. Hamlet has got creative. Hamlet believes that he understands very well Balzac, but he doesn't understand what's happening in the relationship and why Balzac distanced himself from Hamlet, because his program function, ethics of emotion, is vulnerable in Balzac. So in this case, Hamlet is the supervisor and Balzac is a supervisor. This is the relationship. So we finished now talking about socionics relationships, but as I mentioned before, it is important that you do not get fanatical and don't take that factor of socionics, of intertype relationship, as a major factor for relationship. because people are not type, not reduced, limited to type. Personality, it's not type, and there are lots of many other factors which influence our relationship. What I would like to mention is that I believe that not every dual would be good for you, and sometimes not a dual, but some other type can replace the dual very successfully, better than the dual. Yeah, in general, we of course happy when we get completion if help from opposite function. If you are intuitive, logical, it is good for you, ethical and sensory type, obviously, but then you still have to be careful and avoid conflict relationship, because that will be just too much to take for vulnerable function. Yes, so I would consider super-ego relationship as actually very good relationship, not worse than dual relationship, but that is if all other factors are also in place. Thank you very much for watching. We have got just one topic left, and I will see if I will record it sooner or later.